Hello, and welcome to the third devlog of my game development series. It has been almost half a year since the last devlog, so another one is way overdue. To save you some time, I'm going to quickly summarize the first two devlogs for you. Why not watch them yourself, you ask? Well, they suck. So here's my summary. This series is documenting the development of my dream game, Knitja. That word is a combination of the words knitting and ninja. Very clever, I know. It is a stealth game set in a world that's made entirely out of wool. The player uses their knitting needles to climb walls, take out enemies, which are also made out of wool, and shape the world to their advantage by creating, reshaping, and destroying all kinds of objects. The game is still in very early development. This is the reason for its primitive appearance and lack of features. This is something that will change as development continues. In the past, I tried to clean up the game's code, but my first attempt at that was a failure. There, saved you 22 minutes. Now onto the devlog's topic, the project's revival. The development for this project has been going on for exactly 9 months, but the progress has been less than stellar. One reason for this are the months between the last devlog and this one. Let's quickly go over this time span before we look at the project's revival. We're going to start right after the release of the second devlog, in late December. Around that time, I had to copy all of my files to a new and more powerful computer, and had to finish the written part of a large school project, which robbed me of a lot of time. January was even worse, as I had to finish the rest of the school project, which led to almost no work getting done that month. February was a different case though. I worked a lot on the game design document, which is an essential document for almost every type of game. I learned about the document's intended content and the additional documents leading up to the GDD's creation. I also finished a class play this month, and thus the 2 large school projects for that year were completed. In March, I learned even more about game design, but didn't get anywhere in terms of the game's actual development. I tried once again to improve my code, but failed. No development was done in April at all due to a lack of motivation. While I didn't write a lot of code in that time and the project still looked like it did 4 months ago, I had made significant progress in terms of the knowledge gained and the shift in my mentality. I had learned what to actually write in a game design document thanks to a book on game design that I got for my birthday in February. I'd also learned about useful tools for software development such as source control and unit testing. A book on coding, which I also got for my birthday, told me that prototype code written for games should actually be sloppy, because its purpose is to test gameplay features. After the developer figures out what's fun, the code can be rewritten in a proper way, so you don't waste time writing good code that won't be needed. This made a lot of sense to me, and led to me finally reviving my dream game project. I started rewriting my old and partially cleaned up code from scratch, this time without a care in the world for cleanliness. This process happened in late May to early June. Not only did I rewrite the code, I also added new one on top for reshaping objects, a feature that I had never implemented before. After a good week of work, I had made more progress than in the last 6 months before that. I called this process the Project Revival. The prototype code I ended up with was horrible, but it served its purpose, to find the fun in gameplay features. With the first prototype complete, I decided to finally upload another devlog again. This time, however, I would also publish a prototype build alongside it. Check out the link in the description to Knitja's itch.io site. Download the prototype from there and play around with it. There are going to be many bugs and there's not a whole lot to do, but the basic features are somewhat there. All infos you need to play, like the controls, can be found in the game's site. There's also a link to the game's Discord on the website and in the description. Come hang out with me and other fans. That's almost it for this devlog. I tried my best to summarize the last 6 months as quickly as possible, as not a whole lot of progress was made and the details would be very confusing and most likely uninteresting to anyone who isn't me. With that said, before I end this video, I want to take a look into the future and tell you what I have planned. You might have gathered from my story that I am terrible at continuously working on a project for more than a few weeks. I hope to change that by pushing myself to release devlogs more frequently, every 1 to 2 weeks. This increase in content will also help me to grow a dedicated community around Knitja. A community which will motivate me to work harder and turn this dream game into a real game, and even potentially aid me during development. Future devlogs will be accompanied by the release of a new prototype build on the game's itch.io site, so people can play it and give me feedback. And that's it! Thank you for following the development of my dream game, Knitja.